evaluation forms for the pathway speeches are somewhat generic, and we're supposed to do three things. What did the speaker do well, what needs improvement, and what are some challenges for the future. And I'll talk about those three things, but I want to do it in a somewhat different order. First of all, I want to talk about the way the speech was organized itself. On the one hand, this was a really simple speech. It was strictly chronological, past, present, future. But the way it was done was pretty clever because it was told in the form of little anecdotes, little bites in time that jumped forward through the various events that she was talking about, the idea of improving oneself and working to become better and so on. There was a really good introduction with a tie into the time of year, the idea of creating New Year's resolutions and that sort of thing. And I thought it worked really well. It was really an interesting personal, or a set of interesting personal stories that actually were very thematic. It's easy to just chop that up into little bits and pieces, but it flowed really well, I thought. Second thing I want to mention is I guess you'd call it vocal mechanics. One of the strengths that Vicki has is the tone of her voice. It's very, I'm not sure what the word, I mean, it's pleasant and conversational, but she has one of those voices you want to believe. So, if this tax stuff doesn't work out, you might want to think about, scamming people and something like that. It probably work, But it was a nice, easy to listen to voice. It's one of those voices that you really like, and that's something I don't think can be taught. You either have that or you don't. Vicki has it. That kind of goes along with her vocal variety. Did you notice how she varied her pitch and her tone and her speed and whatnot in order to fit the little anecdote she was telling? That was really done well. I thought very smoothly done. I guess you'd call it gestures and movement and whatnot type of mechanics. This is something you really improved on. It used to be that you did the kind of that, or you would flutter your hands. But your gestures now are very purposeful. And did you notice that when Vicki used gestures that were up, like, kind of head high, she never got them where it was in front of her face. Mm-hmm. That's really important because you don't want to create a psychological barrier between you and the audience. Mm-hmm. And that can happen if you put anything between your face, your mouth, and the audience. It was really well done. There were a couple times that I don't know if she's going to do it, but you kept your hands away. I thought and your gestures were purposeful, really well done. Movement, on the other hand, not so well done. You have a tendency to kind of stand sort of like this, like you're getting ready to go over like a tree in the forest or something, and you only do it in one direction. You go in this direction, you don't ever go in the other way, which is, I got to looking at that. It's kind of interesting. And then as you moved, you tended to stay within a pretty narrow band, 2-3 feet wide, and the movement wasn't really purposeful, I guess. Challenges for the future. I worked a little bit on purposeful movements. And the other thing is, I like the personal stories you tell. You tell a lot of personal stories, but I'd like to see you expand your repertoire of speeches to other topics, non-personal topics, if that makes any sense. But I thought this was a really good speech. Nice job.